Hello YouTube world, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop hot content like this, and stay tuned for the next video. Hello podcast world, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here coming at you talking about the episode I just watched on FBI Most Wanted. It's another one of Twicth's shows, and basically the episode was very intense, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. It was about a mall shooting, a very organized terroristic mall shooting. I think it was about 4 or 5 guys. They basically came in armored up with assault rifles, and they had all the exits to the mall set with like C4 explosives, and they were just going through, like, it didn't matter who you were or whatever. They were just going through and mowing you down, you know what I'm saying? They were going from store to store shooting everyone. And fortunately enough, or maybe unfortunate enough, however you want to look at it, but fortunate enough, the head of the FBI Most Wanted Task Force was in the mall, him and his coworker and their family, and a mall security guy, or I don't even think he was a security guy, I just think he was a guy, a black guy with a gun, and the older guy and whatnot, and they took action, they did what they had to do to survive, and it was really intense. It was like, I can't really picture that happening ever, in a mall, anywhere, but, things are happening to where stranger things are happening. You got churches that are out there getting blown up and shot up, and members, so I'm just, I was thinking about this the other day, and the thing I was thinking about, like, we all go shopping places, Walmart and Kroger's and Target and, Sam's and, so forth, and just imagine going in there one day, and I know that a couple of years ago they already had, like, a thing that happened in Walmart's parking lot, or something relative to that, where there was like a shooting at Walmart, and the world is becoming more and more a scary place, and I just, I pray for everyone's safety, and I pray that everything is okay, that everyone's family is okay, and that that we've all survived, and we're surviving the pandemic of 2020 to 2021, or 2019 or whatever is when it first came on the scene. So we're going on 2 years of dealing with COVID and the Delta variant, and now it's at the point where it's got to the point where it's the Omicron variant. It sounds like so unrealistic. It sounds like something that you would see in a movie, and something that you say to yourself, like, oh, that could never happen, or I can't really picture that happening. Now it's at the point where COVID is such a real deal that the mask will never go away. That will always be a thing. And there was a point in time where you could have went in the store with a mask on, and they were like, take your mask off, but that's not the case now. We're at the point where they want you to mask up. So it's just strange times that we're going through and what we're dealing with compared to how we grew up. There was a point in time where neighborhoods were safe, and kids were safe, and children were safe, or whatever, and people didn't even lock their doors. I know some people, some older families, whatever, who still, like, they live in the country, whatever, who still don't really lock their doors, who live, like, they leave their front door just wide open, and expect no expectation of any issues or whatever. But I mean, hey, they also believe in their Second Amendment right to bear arms. So they're they're it's crazy. So just think about that. And I know I'm here, I'm in Texas, and it's at the point where it's open season. Everyone has a gun. Like, they don't care anymore. They're like, hey, if you need to protect yourself, stand your ground. So you feel like you're in fear of your life or whatever. Guns, guns, guns. It is probably the most lenient gun state ever. I know in the South it definitely is. Everyone's got a rifle. Everyone's out hunting and shooting deer and if it calls for it, shooting people. Pow. Oh yeah, he stepped on my property, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Because the way things are going right now, I'm not really a gun person. I don't feel like I'm in fear of my life. I feel okay. But there have been some incidents where I'll be like, if I had a gun, because just the other day, it seems like in my city right now, there is a murder investigation going on each month from the hands of people, teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Young adults, especially young male adults, in the black community, really, I'd say this is what's going on in the culture right now. And it's like high school, maybe you're now in middle school right now, into like your early 20s, and maybe even mid 20s. Everyone's gunning up. Everybody's shooting somebody down or trying to rob someone, or they feel like they've been disrespected on social media or in a rap video that they created or a TikTok, or back in the day it was like physical altercation. If someone stepped on your shoe, they would fight, and that's a little bit more understandable than sticks and stones. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, I understand the concept back in the day where, if you talked about somebody's mama, you know what I'm saying, that was your ass. So nowadays, it's like, it's gotten worse. It's just elevated to the next level of stupidity. So, I don't know what we're going to do to, balance the equation when it comes to violence and shooting and gun violence and the NRA and all of that. I don't know. I don't own a gun, but I have friends that do, and I feel like every now and again, like however you choose to protect your family and protect your household, I understand, because you never know. And even if you do have a gun, it doesn't mean that you have to use it or you're going to get to use it. Sometimes you're wit. You got to be quick on your feet. You got to be smart. And in situations or whatever. And I've been watching this on TikTok where the officer talks about how someone has a gun to your head scenarios and a gun to you and how you, I feel like it's a possibility. I've seen enough in movies, I've seen it a little bit on television, I've heard of people who like, oh, I survived because I took action, and I can honestly say that if the gun ain't facing you or pointing to the point where it's going to kill you or whatever, maybe you should take action. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're capable of, and neither do you until you take action. And that's all I'm saying. Don't be a victim, is what they were saying in the show. Don't let them don't make it easy for them. That's all I can say. If something is going on to where someone's broken in your home, or somebody's coming at you, even if you end up having to fight someone, don't make it easy for them. Don't just throw the fight. Don't just give in. Just do what you gotta do. Stand your ground. Don't be a victim. And I love it. I feel like if you're gonna be a superhero, then be super. If you're going to protect your family, then protect your family. Like whatever it takes and whatever the cost is, and it'd be nice to know that you're safe yourself. So, and I don't know. I don't know if you've ever watched the show FBI or FBI Most Wanted or FBI International or whatever. They're all Dick Wolf shows. They all, he also writes Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Cause hey, tonight is Wednesday. Got Chicago Wednesdays coming on, and then he likes all the Law and Orders, and Law and Order SVU, whatever, one of the longest running series as far as drama thriller or whatever of it. So I watched all of that. Pretty much everything that Dick Wolf puts out, I watch it. Yep. So I appreciate the message that you try to put out in your stories. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the way that you depict things or whatever in your shows. What I'm saying, your writings or whatever, and the way things come out. I don't know. I watch them and I feel like if the situation where if I were in that situation, what would I do? How will I handle it? What's the next step for me? What do I do? And it's kind of like a ding ding ding. You know what I'm saying? You've seen this before on television. This is what you're supposed to do, or this might work, or whatever. So yeah. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out my YouTube page. All of that. And, everything. So, I appreciate y'all for every time that you click on something that's pertaining to me. I appreciate y'all. And thank you.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.